Welcome to Holographic Health Insights, the podcast where science meets soul for complete well-being. Join hosts Reverend Anne-Marie Byers and her daughter Rachelle as they explore transformative health approaches that integrate body, mind, and spirit. From energy medicine to holistic practices.
Stress and anxiety aren't just mental. They affect the entire body's energy system. In this episode, we uncover how holographic health addresses emotional wellness through spiritual alignment, energy balancing, and holistic care. Welcome back, everybody. Skip Monty, co-host / producer, back in the studio with Reverend Anne-Marie Byers and Rachelle Gianaris of Holographic Health, Inc. How are you ladies doing?
Doing well, Skip.
Wonderful. Good to see you again.
Awesome. Very good to see you too. Now, stress and anxiety are something I am very familiar with. I'm sure most of us are. So it's a pretty powerful topic that I think applies to everybody. And so many people are searching for meaningful relief beyond traditional approaches. So can holographic health help with stress and anxiety, and how?
Well, everybody has some kind of stress. And stress can be good stress or bad stress, but we have a chart that shows stress, and you can have some major stressors like a death in the family or a birth where one seems bad, one seems good, but still a lot of stress there. And vacation is a form of stress. Holidays like Christmas, etc., can be a major stressor. One thing, though, that is really important a person's life is your faith. Because the more faith a person has, the more they trust in God. And we are a God-centered company. We believe that God is the center of everything we do. And so if you have trust and faith that God will provide, then the stressors don't seem as bad when you have that. Still, even with that, some people get hit really hard with some major stressors in their lives. And the more you can do to make sure you're eating a good diet, that you're managing your supplements and you have good supplements and good food going in, that you're trying to make sure you have time for yourself, then that also can help you when these major stressors occur. And we have a supplement called Better Mood that can really help to even out the mood, even out the stressors, so that when these stressors hit, they don't hit the body as badly. They help to calm down the physical body and the mind. And, there are other things you can do like meditation and prayer and, taking a walk out in nature. All of these things are important to taking care of the self and the body and the mind and the spirit, so that when stressors occur, you have a way of taking care of them. When I have had major stressors hit me, I have had some major cancer imbalances, and it was when my mother passed away, when our founder, Dr. Rudy, passed away, and I was left in charge of holographic health. Those things I have had to really watch, because that's when I had the major stressors that caused me to have issues. So finding out what it is that causes you to have these major stressors, and then finding the ways you need to take care of yourself to manage them is important. I think Rachelle is going to talk about some issues she had in college and how she learned about the importance of taking care of some of these things.
That's right. And luckily I had Anne to help walk me through recalibrating after that. So the specific time I remember that was so bad was I had just graduated from undergrad. Hit it really hard. I did my undergrad in 3.5 years. I don't recommend it. But my body told me very strongly that you're done. You need to take a break. I had no energy. I couldn't eat. I had really bad stomach cramps. Like, my body told me we're shutting down for a little bit. So luckily I had Anne to walk me through nutritionally. We got me back on just a multivitamin, a really good multi, to feed my body. And then we used some different supplements, specifically magnesium and vitamin D with K2. Those really help to calm the nervous system and the body and the muscles and really feed those systems to help to bring the balance back. So, like she said, balancing, when you do have a lot of stress and are under a lot of stress, making sure to keep the balance in your life to combat some of the really highs or the really lows is really important. So it took several weeks for me to start really feeling better, feeling like myself, having energy again. But slowly it got better. And luckily, I haven't had that big of an issue since then because I've been diligent with keeping up with my nutrition and acknowledging, even just looking at your schedule. Like you can typically tell, okay, this is going to be a really heavy week or a heavy month, or I have deadlines, or I have a lot of activities. And then keeping that in mind to then balance it the next week or the next month, and finding time to keep the slowness and the still, to kind of keep calm built into your schedule that way. So you can do a lot of prep work and planning ahead of time if you know that times are going to be tough.
And that's really important, is balancing the life, because, we all want to do it now. We want to do everything, but that's just really not appropriate. That's not smart. And so finding out how to have a balanced life, bringing in the spiritual, the emotional, the physical, getting good exercise that will help, with these stressors. Exercise is great. Taking a good hot bath in Epsom salts. Epsom, 3 cups of Epsom salts, a half a cup of baking soda, some essential oils, and soaking in that for 20 minutes is amazing for both the body and the mind. So those are things that can really help, but everybody is in charge of their own life. Don't let life take over. Make sure you're looking at your schedule and you're scheduling your life. Don't just work and work and work, because nobody wishes they'd stayed at the office an hour longer or a day longer when they're on their deathbed. They always wish they had taken that time to spend with their family or their friends and take time for themselves so that they don't get so out of balance.
Wow. Now, Rachelle, you mentioned magnesium, vitamin D with K2. Are those, and this might be a dumb question to ask you guys, but would that be considered energy medicine?
That's more of a nutritional medicine,
Okay.
or nutritional supplement to support the body. Energetically, like Ann said, we can look at, different, the energy part comes from the stillness, I think. Remembering to meditate, pray, spend time. Even this is my favorite thing that I have learned as a homeschool mom. Reading for 10, no, I think it's even 7 minutes can reduce your stress by 80%.
Wow.
7 minutes. It doesn't matter what you read. All the research and the data and all this shows that 7 minutes of just sitting and reading. Audiobooks count, my friends who don't like to physically read with your eyes. You can read with your ears. 7 minutes of reading
Wow.
can
reduce. We also have energetics built into all of our supplements.
Yes.
So like the Better Mood has additional energetics in there to calm people. So it's like having homeopathics for relaxation built into the herbals as well. And we can create a homeopathic / allopathic of rescue remedy, which is an old homeopathic for relaxation. There's that from an energetic standpoint, but also trees, getting out in nature, hanging out with trees, they're very calming. So all of these are energy related.
Well, so do you guys, if someone were to come see you and say, hey, treat me, I'm stressed out of my mind, I need help. Couple questions. One, is it important to identify or define the root cause of the stress and anxiety? And two, can a client experience noticeable changes after one session?
Those are great questions. I think we would start by looking at the obvious and like, well, what are some things that you're doing every day? When do you notice that you're stressed? What are some good, bad, and ugly things in your life that could be causing you stress? And just kind of having a conversation and figuring out how to support them through that. Is there anything you can take away? Anything you need to add? Anything maybe you just need to reduce a little bit or adjust? And looking at, we talked about nutrition, but looking at also some of the other natural ways to reduce stress. Maybe they have a nervous system issue and their nervous system can't calm down. So we could do some muscle testing to see if there is a physical issue that needs attention. The muscle testing really does help too. So conversation, kind of discussing back and forth, which is usually how we start our sessions, especially with new clients. And then getting into some muscle testing to see, well, where could this be coming from? Maybe we've pinpointed a few things and then made some adjustments. And then in the next session, they're like, it's better, but I'm still experiencing, some stress or some trouble sleeping or whatever it may be. So there can be multiple reasons why somebody's body is telling them that they're stressed. You too.
Yeah, sleep is another big issue, and we have a good product for helping people to relax and sleep, because some people have a lot of trouble turning their mind off at night.
Yes.
And usually we're leading the client through figuring out for themselves what the issue is. And sometimes people have stressors in their life, such as caring for an elderly parent. So there's really nothing they can do about that particular aspect of their life, unless perhaps they can get someone to come in one day a week and get a few hours of respite, or finding ways, again, to better deal with the stress. And that's how we can help people to identify that, but also to make suggestions about how they can rearrange things or deal with that.
Very good. Well, ladies, thank you so much for sharing very compassionate guidance today. And I tell you, personally, one of the biggest de-stressors I have besides exercise and fishing is prayer. And so I appreciate that recommendation very much. That makes all the difference in the world. So thank you guys, and looking forward to more eye-opening insights next time on Holographic Health Insights. Hope y'all have a great rest of the day.
Thank you, Skip. Stay cool.
You too. We'll try.
Thanks for joining us on Holographic Health Insights. If you're ready to dive deeper into transformative health approaches, visit holographichealth.com or give us a call at 800-566-1522. Remember, your journey to total well-being starts here.